Hello, I'm Helen Sattler, your Destiny Helper. Glad to be with you once again. I am excited about being with you on this beautiful, beautiful morning. Coming with questions that you're sending to my email. Thank you so much for emailing me these different questions that you have. It makes it so joyous as I begin to look up what interests you. I'm excited about being with you the times that we come on. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Those of you who like and share the page, thank you so much for allowing other people to hear the message that you share. And many of them are writing saying how blessed they are and how this is a healing mechanism to them. And I am just literally excited and elated about it every time I get with my YouTube fam. It is so awesome. We share a common denominator, and I appreciate. Hello there. How are you? We share a common denominator, and the common denominator has been a tremendous access to many, many, many people. Thank you so much. Has been a common denominator to many, many people. And so I come tonight on this morning because the question is, what is it about narcissists and children? So we want to discuss that. We want to discuss that, and I'm here and also available to answer any questions you may have on this wonderful morning. Many of you said, I have so many questions. I'm not sure what it is that I'm going through. It feels like I am spinning. Oh, Demetria, how are you? She had just recently started listening to you. Oh, thank you so much to your videos. She said they are so helpful. Can I ask you a question? Please ask me a question. I am here to answer your questions. What question do you have, Demetria? Write that question down. And after you question, just take that and copy the question in case you have to paste it again. So please go ahead and ask the question. And while you're asking the question, I want to deal with the narcissist and children. While a lot of families have problems with the narcissist, and the narcissists seem to be agitated by children. When the children first arrive, many of the narcissists consider them like a new supply, a new arrival, because it shows their prowess. It shows their reward system. It makes them feel good that they were able to create a being after themselves. So they feel real noble about being, having someone as an extension. But as the time goes, just like new supply, everything get old because this new supply now is requiring all of this time. The mother's with the child, so the mother is not showing the narcissist the attention that the narcissist is used to, and so the mother get agitated. She get agitated. She said, hello, Sharon, how are you? Thank you so much. Please keep me in prayer. My mom, husband, and my friend are narcissists, and I thank God for you and Dr. Brian. All three of them. Oh my God, Sharon. We need to thank God for you. We really need to thank God for you. Okay, Dimitri, I'm waiting for your question. So answer your question. This guy right here, I'm not sure of this person right here. So I want to remove this person when they come back up. Let me, feeling kind of awkward here. Anti-naturalism. Okay. All right. Hello there. Just Queenie, how are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. I've abused a lot, and I would not bring children here in this life. Okay, just what I thought. Let's remove them. Can we do that? Can we just remove this person right here? Thank you so much. Message deleted. Yeah, we want to get rid of them. Okay, we have a narcissist, right? We have a narcissist on board, and we're getting rid of him. Yeah, we're getting rid of him. Okay. So what we need to do, I need to add a moderator. So just Queen. Let me add you, just Queenie. I'm getting ready to add you as a moderator. I'm gonna add you as a moderator. And I want you to do a control alert. Hello, Ruth. How are you? I will. Thank you so much. So you will be my moderator that I add on board because that is simply crazy. That is crazy. There you go. Let me get this narcissist off. Having a problem with my screen, so hold on, guys. Let's do this. Okay, I add a moderator. No, 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 no. I done added the wrong person. Okay. Oh, wow, guys. Having some troubles here. We need to block this guy right here. Remove. There you go. We need to remove him. There you go. And we're going to make Queenie and just Queenie, you are now a moderator for this channel. And see, when you deal with narcissism, sometimes you can draw the very thing that you're talking about. And many narcissists filter throughout YouTube looking for people like myself and Dr. Brian and other people that are doing this because they're causing a lot of problems. But you're dealing with narcissism and children. Narcissists look at children as supply. Narcissists look at children as an extension of themselves. Sometimes they even look at children as an object of triangulation. It's unfortunate, but some narcissists that have children are very predatory. So if you are with a narcissist and you are pregnant or you get pregnant, please know what you're dealing with. The mid and lower grade narcissists are well known for having this kind of mindset where they see it as triangulation, they see it as new supply. The upper narcissist doesn't always see it that way because they're so calculated. She said, can you do a video on the silent treatment? And you know what? If you go on my video, I did one called ghosting. Go on my video. I did one on ghosting, and Dr. Carmen did one on ghosting. But I will redo that video. So look for it coming up. Look for it coming up. Because when you have the narcissist ghosting, they fade out. And a lot of times, a narcissist will fade out just before discard. Good morning, Gabrielle's Diary. How are you? And so before the narcissists fade out of your life, they start, before they discard you, they start fading out of your life. And you notice that when they fade out, they get real quiet, real silent, or really mean. And when they get really mean, they've already started the devaluation phase. But another thing the narcissist does, the narcissist will start fading out when they go into the silent treatment. A lot of times they are regrouping themselves. They done took so much energy in triangulation. They done took so much energy in trying to find new supply until she said, I sent you a question. Hope you can give me some advice. Okay, I will look and see that question you sent to this video, and I will write you, Gabrielle. I will write you. And so when they are silent, he start pulling back, and then he goes almost numb. Excuse me. He's not angry. He's just numb. He comes home. He's quiet. Excuse me. He comes home, he's quiet, don't say much, don't participate in much. He may be on a rampage, but he's not on a rampage. Excuse me. He's not on a rampage. He draws within themselves. He's gathering up his strength because usually that's the quiet before the storm. Also, I did a video on that. Go and look at the silence before the storm. And I'm quite sure all these videos, Demetria, would be a blessing to you so you can know what you're dealing with. You're getting ready to go through a phase when they start ghosting out. Usually there may be some triangulation, a new supply. When they start getting a new supply, they start fading out, and they fade out because they don't want you to mess with that new supply. They don't want you to get in the way of that new supply. But a narcissist is very calculative. Everything they do is calculated. They just don't do anything. Everything they do, there's a reason behind it. Because you got to remember they're fuel oriented. So they're looking for fuel. So when a narcissist start silencing and going out, there's something in the midst. She said, how can I talk with you on a spiritual level about narcissistic demons? You can email me and I can tell you how that can be done. You can come at destinyhelper12s at gmail.com. Destinyhelper12s at gmail.com. Hello, Debs. How are you? So let's talk about the narcissist and children, because a lot of times you're with the narcissist, you end up getting pregnant, and you notice there's something strange about the relationship, and then we bring kids in the relationship. Thank you so much, Sharon. And we start bringing kids in the relationship, and so the relationship change. At first, some narcissists seem very excited because they see the extension of themselves, they see the new supply. And when they see this, now some narcissists can be very ancestral. So please know what you're doing when you bring your child in, because if you in torment, you're being abused, you being beaten by the lower narcissist, a lower mid-grade narcissist. That narcissist will not stop at you. That narcissist would extend himself to the entire family. He sees fuel, because most lower narcissists, lower mid-grade narcissists, they find fuel and the torment that they inflict upon their subjects, because that's what you are to them. You are subject, is enslavement. They feel a sense of entitlement to hurt you, to cause pain, because they're so empty inside. They're so dreaded inside. This makes them feel better. This is their equalizer, is to create pain for you and to maximize that pain. And if you notice that if you have a narcissist that is abusive, whether it's male or female, because you got female or narcissists that are very violent, and they're just as violent as the men. And Deb said, she said, I'm well. She said, I've been no contact for 8 months, and the last few days had dreams about my narcs and feelings presence. I don't understand. Honey, that is your soul tie. That's your soul tie. Now, I want a one-way conversation, so let's do this. Let's get a one-way conversation, because if I'm conversating and y'all conversating, it's going to be distracting, because I think you're talking to me and you're talking to each other. Amen. So let's get this one-way conversation so we can help the people that are on. Is that all right, you two fam? And so what happens is, when this narcissist is abusive, he abused the whole family. These narcissists find they find fuel in the abuse. And the female narcissists are just as violent. And when they call the police almost laugh, because it's a female on a male. But they see the abuse is on the male, and the female is just as violent as the male. She said, I have a child by one. She is 19 years old, and she tries to give me pure hell, but my God, my daughter is selfish and very narcissistic. See, And see, on the spiritual level, when you're dealing with these narcissism to me is a personality disorder. But anybody who deal with a narcissist on the spiritual aspect know that there is a presence with them. It's not just them. So you get rid of the presence and you deal with the damage that that personality disorder is there, and what they have went through. They are empty beings, absolutely. And this is why they pull so much out of you. They mirror you so much because the good that they want, they don't have it. And they hate that you have it. That's why you're being tortured. That's why you're being triangulated and strangled. She said, yes, Lord. In the relationship, you feel choking in the relationship. You feel like you can't breathe. You're hyperventilating. You're tired. You're draining. Now you are bringing a child in that relationship, and the narcissist don't see that child as a child. That child can be, I've seen in cases I've dealt with where the child was just as addicted to the dad or the narcissist, just like the mom was. The mom was addicted, the child was addicted, but the child was small. But the child had the same addiction and the level of addiction that the child understood, that when the dad would go to work or when the dad would go on vacation or go to any kind of meeting, this child will almost hyperventilate. They went in immediate depression. They went in immediate sadness. They would not move until that dad came back. That child was just as addicted as to that narcissist as much as the adult parent was addicted to the narcissist. Can you imagine that? So all of the hormones that was in that mom, the child is displaying. And so the narcissist now sees and uses that child as a new supply. She said, exactly, kids have a soul tie as well. Absolutely. You know, them being a kid does not stop the soul tie. So if you got a child that's 5 years old that is addicted to their father, the father is pulled into that child's life. And when the father is pulled into that child's life, he starts to idealize that child. He start to love bomb that child. The energy he's putting in that child is the energy he will put in you, but it doesn't take that much effort because he's always already co-joined to that child, and that child got immediate submission to the love bombing of that father. Well, if he's predatory, guess what? You got yourself a major problem. Hello, Ladette. How are you? You have yourself a major problem. He won't stop because that's his child. He'll stop that you put boundaries in the marriage. You have to put boundaries. But remember, if you got some boundaries and he's a lower narcissist or upper mid-grade to lower narcissist, she said, how can you avoid that in childhood for kids? You're going to have to be very careful. You're going to have to be very attentive. That's what you'll have to be. Or you'll have to think about leaving. If you know and you see things and you pick up things and you know your child has an opportunity to become his bait, to become his new supply, that child, until he get that child can be perfect. It's temporary perfect. He sees the innocent in that child, the smell of raw, innocent flesh. And he see it. And so that child becomes the goal of the narcissist. And so then the narcissist, when you just have the child, he don't want to be bothered. So you'll find that most narcissists, once you have the child, they are not there to help you unless there's some gain in helping you with the child. If they trying to gain some attention or they're trying to gain something with you, assist you with that child, then they would assist that child. She said, I was horribly discarded last year because I didn't, let me see, give the narcissist money. No, he is giving me the silent treatment. Can you please give me some advice? Write me at destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. Destinyhelper 12s@gmail.com. And let's talk about that privately. Let's talk about what we can do to assist you privately. And so when the narcissist is with that child, two things. He either loves them, he can't love them, right? So he lusts them, or he mirrors them, he mirrors their innocence. He feeds off their innocence. He gets high off their energy. Thank you, off their innocence. And so it's fuel to his life. And this fuel can become more severe if you don't watch the narcissist. Most narcissists will abandon the mother when she's attending the baby, because she's every 2 hours the baby has to be fed, the baby is pooping, they see the baby is nothing, they don't help, they can't service the narcissist, they're getting all the attention, and the narcissist is angry because the child diverts the attention from the narcissist. So the narcissist start competing with the child, making demands on the mom, and the mom, he don't care about the child starving, he care about you giving him everything, because now he have to share his attention with the child. So now he see himself minusing fuel. So he goes out and start a triangulation. And you can tell, like you talking about the silent treatment, he start ghosting. He starts slowly fading away. They call it the fading narcissist. You see him and he start dissipating. His conversation is none and void. He's not even trying to get fuel. He's not even trying to get fuel. When a narcissist is in the house and he's not getting the fuel of this house, he's giving you the silent treatment. The next thing you know, he's gaslighting. You are blamed for everything. You are devalued. All of this is coming. He's lying. He's word salad. He's trying to confuse you. You got the baby. You can't have tend to the baby. He's draining you. He's making all of these demands on your time because you have taken his fuel. You have taken his time. And he keep doing that. And finally, he gets you to the point where you are totally confused because he's already started the triangulation. Then he's out. When he comes home, he go to bed. If he's your husband, he's not intimate. He turns his back to you instead of being sexually involved with you. He looks at the child. He don't hold the child, don't touch the child, just acknowledge the child. And sometimes they won't even do that. And you find he's spending more time out. There is a new supply. There is a new supply. Because why would a narcissist spend more time out when they are fuel oriented? If they're not getting fuel at home and they have to get fuel, they live by fuel. They don't live by love. Narcissists don't love because they're empty, they're void. And this void in them is very, very, very agitating, irritating. And so if you notice the narcissist, the only way a narcissist gets something horrible is because he wants that energy. He wants that negative fuel. And when he needs that negative fuel, that's why he inflict pain on you, because he has to have that negative fuel. Most narcissists want the noble. They want the high intelligent, the cerebral. They want the person who has status. Everything they want to be is what they hunt. The hunter goes out for what he wants. And when the hunter goes out for what he wants, that is on his agenda. She said those characteristics are similar. She said those characteristics are similar to the Jezebel spirit. Of course they are. Of course they are. Jezebel hates the prophetic. Jezebel hates to be out of control. Jezebel always loved to be in control. Jezebel attaches herself to what's important because you can't get control with less important people. And people say that it is the Jezebelic spirit. But Jezebel always attaches herself to the hierarchy. And she's very influential in the community. So when you get a Jezebel spirit, they're very influential in the community, very powerful in the spirit. Just like when you got a covert narcissist, they got a reputation outside and they are hellion in the house. So the person that's in the house, the person that's on the job, the person that's in the business, the person that you're working with, the person that you're living with, that's not the person that the public knows. And so when you go out to say this person is horrible, they're looking at you like, I wished I had a wife or a husband like that, because they don't know the covert narcissist. She said, I went through this hell last year. My husband did this and me did this. He said, and me. She said, he tried to kill me last year, and he has a boyfriend and moved in with him and tore up my vehicle and was taking his boyfriend to work. A narcissist. Narcissists don't have to be heterosexual. They can very much be bisexual. A narcissist wants what they want and they go after what they want. And you got to remember these terrorists, these soul terrorists, these emotional terrorists, these life destroyers will penalize you tremendously for the goodness that they see in you. Or even if you want them, they terrorize you because you desire them. They can't desire you back for good. When you love them and want to spend time with them and romance you, when a narcissist romance you, he has ulterior motives behind it. So that's why when you have a child, he sees this child as meaningless because this child, as a little baby, can't cater to him. The only time he gets some kind of proudness out of this child that you have had is when family comes over. He allowed them so he can show and idealize that I made an extension of myself, and he wanted to be an extension of himself. He wants that child a narcissist just like he is so he can hate you. And then he blamed you for having the baby. He said, because you remind me of what you did. Not what we did, what you did. Gaslighting, blaming. You get blamed for everything. The narcissist is a pro at blaming. And that's why they use word salad. When you got an incident and the narcissists do word salad, you never get to the end. You never get to the root. They go around in circles. They wear out your mind. They wear out the conversation. They are arguing in bed. You're trying to sleep. When you go to sleep, he wakes you up because narcissists don't need a lot of sleep. The spirit that work with them is a roamer. That's a vagabond. So they don't need to sleep. And you'll find that you need that sleep. You wore out. He sleeps, she sleeps for a couple hours. Boom, they up and rolling, ragging again with that word salad, confusing you through conversation, never hitting the root of the matter. These narcissists are pros at your pain. They figure out how to do it and they're good at this. So Sharon, it's really something that you went through this and tore up your vehicle. See, they have no respect for anything but what they want. She said, I went through this with my husband and he was a covert, Michelle said, covert narcissist. I had to separate. I'm almost 2 months no contact. See, and that's relatively new. She said the boyfriend was trying to run my house, but I stood my ground. The boyfriend, how did he get to your house? She said, and documented everything. I had witnessed. He turned my mom, sister against me. I cut them all out of my life. See, that covert narcissist, she said, I'm listening, Apostle Sally. Thank you, Sandy Lou. Sandy, how long have you been free? She said, coverts are the dangerous type. Yeah, because nobody believes that they are what they are. They have this image that they portray. I mean, politics, they're the best one. They got a high rating. Business, they know how to do business because they got their emotions out of it. She said, my husband. Yeah, and see, we need to talk about that too, about when you go to court with a narcissist. See, this spirit is a mesmerizing spirit. It creates an ambience for itself. That's why you go to court and you wonder why the judge can't see things plain. You have to go into prayer and bind that spirit and rebuke that spirit and release the anointing of light and illumination into the atmosphere where they don't grab that atmosphere, turned it to their good, and they're talking so fast in the spirit of confusion go in that place. They know how to work confusion. They know how to start confusion. They know how to set confusion. And that's why you go to court, you like, why couldn't the judge see? All of this is plain information. They're subject to that confusion. And the narcissists bring you, if you notice, when you deal with a narcissist, they go in the room and take over the room. And you're looking at people and you're wondering, why can't they see what I'm seeing? They don't see that. They see how wonderful the narcissist is. Great personality, charisma, all this charisma is with them. And I mean, they know how to talk to people. They're very conversational, and they seem to know how to read your emotions. And because it's them, remember, love bombing, you got their attention. You got all their attention when you're love bombing. They got all the attention in the world. They got all the time in the world. They listen to your everything. A narcissist listen to your every word, because they're going to bring those words back. They're going to use those words against you. Demetrius said, this time round, because I was there before too. I've been free 2.5 years. Oh, I'm shouting with you. I'm shouting with you. Hello, Bora. How are you? And Demetrius said, you are exactly right. Everything about the narcissist getting fuel by treating you horribly. Yeah, they live by it. They're empty. They are empty. Michelle said exactly. They're empty. I mean, they are empty. They need fuel, but they need fuel all the time. Can you imagine living your life where you need fuel all the time? It's like gassing up, but you have to gas up every block. You got gas every block. You get a block, you get out, fill out your car. You get gas, you fill out your car. Every block is gas, and you working it, working it, working it, working it, working it, working it. And next thing you know, you're out of energy, you drain. When you there, the narcissist down there while you are trying to resuscitate and revive, telling you, I need fuel. And they don't care about your physical and mental ability, mental capacity. Give me what I need and when I need it. That's what they care about. If you don't, you are worthless, you are no good, you are invaluable, you are that. What is the reason you exist if you don't exist for me? That is the narcissist. That's why I'm telling you, you got to know who you're dealing with, because when you marry the narcissist, the narcissist will marry you. I mean, they would just meet you in 3 weeks, you would get married. I was at this conference, and this woman, very, very astute doctor, married a narcissist. Her husband passed away, and she talked to him. She said within 2 weeks she married him, and she lived over 22 years of hell with that narcissist. So much she barely came out alive. Barely came out alive. And now somebody else is going through it because he divorced her and he's somewhere else killing another woman's emotions, her mind. And so you got to watch when you're bringing children into this kind of relationship. The children of narcissists accept the golden child, and the golden child has its own torture because you have to live after the footsteps of that narcissist. You can do anything wrong as long as you live in the footsteps of that narcissist. Total control. You don't do anything wrong, and all of the other children are black. They are black sheep of the family. They stay in the black. The golden child stay in the white, and as long as the golden child stay in the white, they are perfect. They are just like new supply. Every day they wake up, it's new supply, because the narcissists live through the golden child. Everything they want, that child must do. The career they choose, the clothes they choose, the time they choose, the time they get along they choose, the toys they choose, the how they think they choose, the teacher that they want to deal with their child, they choose the teacher, or they rave at school, because the golden child is the perfect child, and the perfect child is fitted for the narcissist parent. They fit them with what they wear. If the child have a fit, the whole house go into a rampage, because the golden child is not pleased. She said, hello, Sparker, how are you? Sharon said, I did this. We married within 5 months. Yes, she said, good morning. Blessings to you, D. Jones. How are you? She said, it makes all sense now. Absolutely. Everything you went through. It does. She said, I thought he was the best thing since sliced bread, but he was the devil in hell. Girl, you think you're the only one with that testimony? We all can give you a high five. She said, my mother was a narcissist. I found out that after dealing with my husband. See, you got an explanation probably why you were so traumatized. Why you were so traumatized, because narcissists are very, very selfish. They are internal. She said, Then we all think that, yes, ma'am, that love bombing is off the charts. She said, good morning. It's been a while. You know, Maggie, it sure has. And I'm so glad that you joined me today on this morning. Yes, the love bombing is, let me tell you something. They love bomb you. They give you the golden treatment when you first meet, and you start getting the bronze treatment because they start devaluing you, but they got to hoover you to bring you back in. Now, there are some people that hoover the narcissist to pull that narcissist back in. You have to stay in front of their eyes because they have to remember you, because the narcissist will forget. As soon as you fail them, they leave you in the dust. Even the kids. See, and that's why I titled this Narcissists and Children, Remember or Remember Not. Because the narcissist will forget their children, because it's not about the kids, it's about the narcissist. It's not about you, it's about the narcissist. She said, yes, that happened to me. This is Michelle. The narcissist left. But you can tell they start triangling. And Demetri was talking about that silent treatment. When they start going silent on you, you got to know when a narcissist is taking a respite, and she is building herself up to act a fool. She said, what I've experienced. Absolutely. And when the narcissist get ready to act a fool and they've used too much fuel and they pull in so they can reserve their fuel, they're very silent. They're numb. They're very mundane. They're very neutral. They go in neutral. They're not in drive, but they're in neutral. And they coast their way to different things. So they won't gear up. They coast their way in everything. That is the eye of the storm, or the calm before the storm. And after they do that and they come out of that spot, all hell break loose. And if it break loose for the parent, what do you think about the child who lives in the house and the parents are fighting, especially if you got physical violence in the house? Because the narcissist with physical violence can beat you into a puddle of blood. And if you don't escape, that narcissist can go to murder because she feel justified in what they do. And it doesn't matter what they used against you. They feel justified. The more pain, the more you holler, and the more you believe, this narcissist is revving up. He's revving up, thinking that this is justified because this is what I need. Whatever I need, your body, your mind, your time, your will is supposed to supply. A narcissist is supposed to be supplied by everything he have, and everything the narcissist feel, that almost like a European thinking, when they was thinking those were in leadership and they had qualities for leadership, and they thought everybody that don't meet these qualities for leadership, then they are slaves, they are servants. And the narcissists feel everybody but them are servants. They feel that they are the elite, the gods of the earth, and everybody has been born and created to serve them. So when a child cannot serve, a baby cannot serve, to the narcissist, they are not fit. They there's no reason for their existence. So I think that you really need to understand what you're dealing with. If you got relationship and the relationship is strange, relationship is confusing, you see this and then all of a sudden the mask slip, and then you see something else and your mind is discombobulated and you are thinking, what in the world am I seeing? What am I seeing? And see, cognitive dissonance. It's confusing. It's a bouncing back and forth. It doesn't level out your thinking. It doesn't bring structure and order to your thinking. It's a misdirection and a misfiring of the brain. And this misfiring of the brains disassociates thoughts and sight with what is going on in the mind with the atmosphere that's being produced, because the atmosphere has so much confusion that the mind can't calculate, because change is constantly occurring. And when the mind stabilizes into something that it believes is finally resting, the narcissist change again. They never let you rest. You can be with a narcissist for 25 years. For 25 years, you are unrest. You are not settled. You have no confidence, because the moment you are confident in something, they throw in another trigger. They throw in another hinge. They calculate how to bring your mind to a place of instability, because they need that control. And to control you, you cannot be stable. Absolutely. If you are not stable, the children are not stable. Unstable children go into a school system that is really not for families. Then they see this discombobulation with the child. They see the thoughts are not settled. The child's having problems thinking. The child is having problems eating. The child seems depressed, and the child got this strange behavior, especially if the narcissist is creating a narcissistic child. You want to be able to catch those behavior modes when you are raising a narcissistic child, because they have no feelings. So it doesn't matter how you beat them, they don't feel. That's why some of you are whooping your children and they're not crying. They don't, none bothers them, because something has happened and it shut down their emotion. Excuse me. And sometimes when you have a narcissistic parent, it's so harsh, especially when you got a narcissistic mother that is having a child, and the child may be a girl and she sees that girl as a threat. She hates that child because people are glorying over the child. They're not glorying over the mother. They're talking about how beautiful the child is. The mother looking at the child, then the mother starts telling you about the pain she had, how long is labor, and she starts telling you and talking to you, but you still getting the attention to the child. She turns all that anger to the child because she wants it. You're supposed to give her attention because she has the child. Narcissists in children, those are very harsh conditions. So what do? You got to put up some boundaries. You got to put up some boundaries. You have to. You have to know what you're bringing in. And if you already brought the child in, then you as the parent going to have to preserve your atmosphere with the child. And sometimes you can't do that in the stay. You have to do that in the departure, because if it's not good for the child, it's going to break them down. And if the child closes and is traumatized and does not reopen, you got yourself a problem. And you're dealing with a child narcissist and the dad narcissist, or a child narcissist and the mom narcissist. That creates a problem because they don't feel. And then as the narcissist child grow up with the narcissistic parent, if the parent don't break them, they start competing. It's narc with narc, an older narc with a young narc. Think about a house like that. How would you like to live in a house like that? And we have Sharon. Sharon said, this shed light on my mom, and I found out that she is cold-blooded. She's a cold-blooded narc. She said, yes, my grandmother abandoned all of her children, and my mom suffered bad. My mom is mentally violent and a cold narc. Yeah. She said, when my baby girl was born, he came to see her in the hospital. He just stood there with a rare look, and he didn't feel held her or nothing. Wow. And Maggie said, I left him. She said, I'm so glad I saw, I left him. I think that's what she was trying to say. Saw him as really as what he was, a destructive being, an empty shell. Sparkle said, I feel horribly for my child. I didn't know I was dealing with before. I didn't want her to know any evil like that. You know what? When you don't know, you still got an opportunity. You got to set those boundaries. It's not easy when you're in the house, when you're married, because the narcissist, as a father, as a mother, have legal rights, and you don't want the courts to see you where you've taken and abducted a child, and they will count that against you. So you have to respect the rights of the narcissist. And so you need to get legal counsel. And remember, you need to be prayerful, because a lot of times they're almost mesmerized by the narcissist. It's almost like a spell is on them by the narcissist. The narcissist say things that are deliberate and they just go over their heads. But you can go in that court with the anointing. You can go in that court with be in power, and you can ask God, open the eyes of that judge and have all your paperwork. Don't say narcissist. Do not call him a narcissist if there has not been a clinical professional diagnosis of the narcissist, because that can work against you. Everything you have, you need a clinical diagnosis. You need your paper trail. You need witnesses, and don't make them intentionally look bad. Just stay with the facts, because that's what the judge wants. That's what the lawyer need to present. Yeah, you got to have your documents together. Maggie said, sold two houses and they did not close. Neither, she said, neither disclosed that they were on a floodplain, so they did not close. Wow. She said, yes, setting boundaries is a must. Yeah, but they disrespect them anyway. She said, I feel horribly for my child, didn't know what I was dealing with. Oh, I know. But see, now you got to set those boundaries and pray. She said, I heard him talk about his son as he was competing with him. He was so jealous of his son, and that son is the golden child. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the mom made him the golden child. She said, wow. Yeah, absolutely. And so the golden child is a child that can't do wrong, but people see the benefit of the golden child, but that child is in bondage. And that golden child end up being a lot of time narcissistic, or they end up escaping because they can't breathe. They need to think, and they can't think because all of their thoughts are pre-measured, pre-orchestrated by the parent, and that parent thinks for them and do everything for them, almost embarrassing them in front of their friends. She said, hello, sister, from Germany. Hello, Germany. Hanife, am I saying that right? Or Hanifi? How are you? For everything, God bless you. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And I think we need to deal with this, because some of you have been married to a narcissist or are married to a narcissist, and you got a covenant that the law respect. So you can't just leave, even with children. She said, he tried to gaslight me, but I know demons. Oh, honey, high five in the spirit. High five. And see, the Bible says we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. That's his schemes. Those are his strategies. So he released those missiles. You know what the strategy is, because God will give you wisdom with that. God will give you wisdom with that. And so many of you that are dealing with the narcissist, with your children, it can be quite a challenge to protect them, especially if you're dealing with the lower narcissist and lower mid-grade narcissist that is very violent. And not only are they selfish, but they got to have the physical violence, the verbal abuse, and they are extremely harsh with that, where the upper grade or the greater narcissist is very calculative, totally cerebral, strategist. Everything they do is intentional, where the lower narcissist don't know himself yet, or the lower mid narcissist, they don't even know they're narcissists. They just know when they do something how it makes them feel. So they keep repeating the doing of it so they can get the feeling of it. And once they beat somebody for the first time, they think, I'm feeling good with this beating. And you're looking at that person, wonder are they gonna make it, wonder are they gonna live. The narcissist comes down once he beat them, and he love bombs them right in the puddle of blood, right when they are hurting. He or she loves bomb them, because that feeling of anger and hate has been settled and the fuel has been drunk or eaten. The fuel has been gathered. So they are now fuel full at the risk of your life in pain. Think about that. Your child needs more, deserve more. They can't protect themselves. And if you know that your narcissist is being sexually uh, a sexual predator to your child, you better not sit back and take that. You report it. You cover your child at all costs. You said, but it's painful. Then go through the pain for your child until you learn to escape, till you learn to get out, till you have the means to get out, till you have the wisdom, till you have the legal release to get out. Always have one somebody that you trust to talk to that is not a flying monkey, that's not a soldier in the narcissist army. Because you have your private, you can have your corporals and your sergeant, your generals. As high as the narcissist is, that's high as his army is. And these flying monkeys would do anything because they are also addicted to the narcissist. She said, he made me feel so bad because I have kids. They are not his kids, and he always say that I am not giving my kids space because I spend a lot of time with them. Of course, anytime he don't get it, he's gonna complain. She said I saw him had the empty storage locker and needed the filing cabinets that I left with him, everything out of his mouth. He stole out all of my pack boxes and he went through each one and denies it. All right? Yep, sound like the narcissist. They are overt narcissists and dangerous people too. Not all of them are overt. Some of them are covert, but they're dangerous. She said, thank God I'm narcissist free. Since my daughter was born, he discarded us, and these videos really opened my eyes. Yep. She said, yep, get out ASAP. That's Queenie. Yeah. There are videos on, Kim Saeed. We have Associate Direct. We definitely have Dr. Carmen Bryant. There's many of them that really, really are there to help you. And be careful of these ones that say how to get the narcissist back, how to hoover the narcissist, how to overthrow and overcome the narcissist, and they teach you to fight the narcissist. Don't go for all of that. Just use wisdom, because a narcissist is trained to be evil and wicked, and you're not that. You got to be wise and studious and stable. That's what you are. You are not like the narcissist, but sometimes you can spend so much time until you start mirroring the narcissist. The narcissist mirror you. Now you're mirroring the narcissist because your emotions have been just beat out, spin out, worked out, used out, directed out, and you are just plain tired. She said, just sit back and mark him. And when he would act out, I ignore him. Then he would cut up. My husband she said, used everything backed up in my face. But I would gaslight him every time and shut those demons up, okay? I wish there was some groups I can go to her in the Neverlands. Oh, I know. I know. I wish you could fly to the United States and spend some time with Dr. Bryant. You would definitely get the help you need. But I'm going to tell you something. When you have been in a narcissistic relationship, you got to make sure you detox, you demagnetize. Many of you detox, but you haven't demagnetized. When you have a magnet, you're going to draw to that magnet what that other magnet is. And many of you have been magnetizing narcissistic relationships because you haven't demagnetized. You get out of one narcissistic relationship, you're in another narcissistic relationship. And so your children get used to narcissistic relationship because you haven't demagnetized. You still are hurt. You still think about them. You still have so soul tie. This is the only relationship you have. She said, I am from the Netherlands. Oh, Queenie, you are from the Netherlands. All right. She said, I wish he would discard. That's a blessing in disguise. Oh, okay. She said, I am in the middle of a divorce and got to go through custody battle because he says he wants full custody and won't stop until he gets it. Well, that's what he says. There's a the judge automatically know that there's a divorce for a reason, that the relationship didn't work. Have your paperwork together, have your mouth closed. She said, how do you demagnetize? You demagnetize. First of all, I'm a Christian, so I believe in the Christian perspective. Okay, if you're not a Christian and you have some of the power, some other force that you're working with, then you work with that force. I advise you to come to what I know works. All right. But some of you may not be Christians. There was some say I'm a Muslim and I'm choosing to be a Muslim. Okay, if you choose to be a Muslim, this is the advice I'm giving. You know, when you're talking about magnetism, you got to have a force greater than the force that is pressing up against you. So your force got to be stronger than the trial base. When you have an element that is stronger than the negativity, the positive will always win because the darkness is without sight. And when you have light, you can see. Light is stronger than the darkness. That's why the sun comes in the day and the moon is at night, because the moon is the lesser light and the sun is the greater light. You have to always stay where the greater light is to overshadow the darker light or the lesser light, because you can't get victory below the point of testing. What do you mean? That means if I'm going through at a level 10, I can't be a level 7 trying to get victory. I got to be above my trial, above my situation. My wisdom got to be stronger than my predator. My strength got to be stronger than my predator, because what the narcissist does is break down your strength because they need to control. You cannot control what is powerful. You have to control when it loses power. So you spend a lot of time making sure that person lose their strength, making sure that person lose their power. Once they lose their power, you elevate the power in which you have caused to be destroyed, and you go over them with a quick grab, or you connect them, or you chain them, because now what was equal or higher than you have been debased by you. So every force that is lower than the force of attack goes into bondage. Every force that gets above the level of attack goes to freedom. You have to go to freedom in order to get out. Even if it's freedom in your mind, even if you in the situation, free your mind, feed your mind. Feed your mind with the word of God. Feed your mind with positive things. And I mean, you build it. You don't give yourself a chance not to. There is no excuse. You got to be disciplined enough to do it every day. Even if you have to do bathroom breaks, where the narcissist is not always there. Hopefully he has a job. Usually the lower narcissist can't keep a job. But when you build your mind, you go in the bathroom and you read. You get you some earphones. You go on YouTube and you get positive confession. You get positive motivation, motivation from fear, motivation from doubt, motivation from instability. All of these things is there at your access. And so what you do is build your mind on positive affirmation. Then you get those affirmations out of your mouth. You say them under your breath while you cooking. You say them under your breath while you cleaning. You say them under your breath while you're driving. You say it under your breath while you are cleaning the baby. Because if you say it out loud, you may affect your atmosphere. This is how you do that. You can win. It's not an easy win, but you can win. You say, yeah, I'm going through hell trying to win. Well, go on through hell then. But if you go through it, that means there's an exodus. Because you can't go through some with no exodus. So if there's an entry, there's an exodus. Gone through. You will keep your mind. You will keep your strength. But go through it. Get you a therapist. Because most of the time the narcissist is telling you crazy anyway. Get a therapist. Those of you who feel trapped in your home, Use your television, use your phone, use your computer. Like you're on here, most of the people that come on here, the narcissist is gone, or you come on here because you've left already, or you've been discarded. Those of you who are newly discarded, it's difficult but not impossible. And you're going to think about them because it's a soul tie. You are tied into that narcissist. And even though he's gone from your presence, he's not gone from your mind. He's not, or she's not gone from your memory. And your memory is going to regurgitate experience. It'll be a smell. It'll be a restaurant. It'll be a sound. It'll be the music. It'll be the way you used to cook for him. Something you like to eat, then you cook that. Come on. And then the narcissist, like a Hoover, something triggers them to Hoover you. You can win. You can win. Remember this. The winning is up to you. You said, but I feel so vulnerable. But you're not as vulnerable as you think you are. She said, when we are with Jesus, we can't stay in the lay anymore. Yeah. She said, man, amen. Christ is our victory. He is complete light. Exactly. She said, look at me at Narc Alert. Look me up at Narc Alert. Let me tell you something. Those of you that are going through some things, you are able to go through. Keep coming to the videos. If you have not subscribed to my video, subscribe to this video. I know sometimes I come straight, but you don't need nobody to tickle your ears. You need somebody to come straight with it, because your life that you live every day, that life is coming straight. That life is hard. Some of you can't even tell anybody. You can't tell anybody you got beat up last night. You can't tell anybody that your own husband is raping you. You can't tell anybody. You even have access to you all the time, but he wants the pain of rape. He don't want the submission. He don't want you when you want it. He wants you when you don't want it. Then he create the pain. It satisfies them. Who can you tell that won't judge you? When you come on my site or you come on Dr. Brian's site, you have liberty to be who you are. You have liberty to share where you are. Even if nobody understands, you are understood here. You are believed here. You are helped here. We understand. Those of you who have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. She said, I'm so full even after a year. Yeah. Yes. You're going to get help. You're going to get relief. Now, those of you I'm going to talk about ghosting again, just for Demetria. She said, I appreciate you for your words of encouragement. Thank you so much, Sparkle. It is my joy every single time I come to you. She said, where we are with Jesus, we can stay. Oh, yeah, we cannot. It is my joy. Every time I come on YouTube, it energizes me. It is about 3 o'clock in the morning here. Man, I'm going to have to wind down to even go to sleep. You all fire me up. She said, subscribe and like the channel. Click the bell. There you go. There you go. Subscribe. She said, I can't talk to anyone. Bori, you can talk to us. Thank you for all your help. She said, if these are not demons, someone please tell me who they are. Well, you know what? We know what we know, and we know spiritually. Not all people believe that. Not all people believe there is nothing spiritual. Hello there, Earth Harvester. How are you? Some people don't believe that. But we know that. We know. And that's why we have to safeguard. Let the word be the strength of your mind. Those of you who are spiritual, let the light of what you have be the strength of your mind. Many of you don't believe like I do, but that did not take away your pain. Strengthen yourself with positive things. Strengthen yourself. every day. Talk to yourself. Find a mirror. Be able to look at yourself. If you're not able to look at yourself, that's how much healing you have to have. When you're able to look at yourself and talk to yourself, your healing has begun. Earth Harvester, how are you? She said, ready for your kind, knowledgeable, and inspiring words. Well, you are getting it, baby girl. Some of you are going to have to go back and listen to this. Like and share the page. Anybody you know that is going through, come on, like and share the page, especially when they want to bring it from the spiritual aspect. Like and share the page. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and give it to anyone who needs help. Professional, they need a professional. Give them to Dr. Carmen Bryant. Damnable spirits, imps, spawns of Satan himself is what they are. No other explanation, girlfriend. You don't have a fight here. You don't have a fight here. Not at all. We are not in disagreement because nobody that has a heart can treat people the way the narcissists do. They need the pain. I actually saw the mask slip off, and that's when I knew I was dealing with a demonic spirit. All right, Vicky, we understand it. We understand it. Most of these people on here have went through some things. They don't have to be convinced. We can just talk to each other. They already know. And many of them have went through the cycle all the way to the discard. Many of them have years under their belt. One lady I talked to had over 45 to 50 years. Can you imagine this kind of mind space for 45 to 50 years? Grown children who grew up. And that's why narcissists, some of their children never come home. They never come home. They're still trying to get over their pain. They're still trying to get over their trauma. And it's not always easy to keep. And when you divorce, they have rights of visitation. So you have to train your children. Train them how to sustain mentally. Train them how to fight because they can get addicted like you were. And you had to break out of your addiction. Narcissists can be a drug because they affect the hormones of the body. They affect your mind. They affect you physically. They affect your time, your goals, your dreams. They affect everything. And those of you who are married, you have covenant with them and that spirit. And they have free reign in the house. Every day you feel it. You feel something ain't right. You feel the heaviness. You feel the darkness. You feel the fear. And some of you, it goes physically. Then some of you, it's mental abuse. It's mental abuse. You got one way you live in the house and you just a bag of nerves. Then you finally go out of the house. Then you have to succumb those nerves because you don't want people to know what's going on in the house. But you can only hide something like that for so long. And when you are drained, you can't hide your emotional drain. You can't hide your physical drain. You can't hide that you don't dream anymore. You can't hide that you don't hope anymore. You can't hide that you don't want to hear the word love. Because now love have a different meaning. Love to you means pain. It means pain. And you can't hide it anymore. So narcissists and children, if possible, it's not a good combination. And when you have that combination, use the wisdom. Set up the boundaries. Protect the children. So they will know that you love them. That you care for them and that you will be there for them. Some tears you have to hide because they may need your strength. Go in the bathroom, put a towel in your face and scream into the towel. Go to the store. If you can take the kids and leave them with mom, go to the store because you can't leave them at home. But get your release. She said, I was married to one for 15 years and I'm still healing. When I was with him, I would sit in the car for 15 minutes or more to get it together. We did not have any children. I am happy he didn't. That is a blessing. She said, yes, true. She said, okay, I read that one. She said, I have started boxing. Ooh, I can imagine what's on your mind with every kick, with every hit. And this is just Queen. She said, exactly. Take the time to heal. Love yourself and the children by any means. They deserve it. And so do you. And so do you. Maria, she said, people, if I didn't have Jesus Christ that took my hands in his 35 years ago, I would not have made it here. She said, still together, but I know Jesus is about to end all of this. Thank you, Jesus. 35 years. So, Maria, are you still there with him? 35 years. She said, when he went into a tirade, I would take a peek at the clock and say to myself, okay, this would take 45 minutes. Oh my God. You know, sometimes people don't know what it takes to be you. I really admire people who come through this relationship. They have a strength that is unquenchable. They have a personality that is unbreakable. They have a will that you would not singe. They have hopes and dreams that will emerge again, that will live again, that will breathe again. Your muscle mass will come forth. Believe it or not, all of this pain one day will serve you. You serve them and the pain came. Now the pain came, it will serve you. It's going to launch you because you can tell a story that only those who went through knows. And it makes you smarter. It makes you sharper. Many of you started your prayer life over when you got into this relationship. You prayed like you never prayed before with this relationship. Narcissism is not the end of things, it's the beginning of things. And what we say is, dear narcissist, you did not break me because you didn't have the power to do it. I refuse to die. I refuse to break. I refuse to quit. It didn't care. I didn't care how many years. What I cared about is that I survived. I survived you, so I win. That is your story every single day. Every single day. She said, thank you, beautiful woman of God. She said, dear narcissist, you did, woo, yes, yes, don't make me shout, girl. She said, I can protect the children. Yes, Vicky, you can. Do you tell them about the narcissistic abuse we have suffered? Our youngest daughter is 17. I really felt like I was dying and had to pray hard. See, all things work together for your good. God will cause all things to work together for your good. Your 17-year-old daughter, you got to see where she is. See where she is emotionally. See where her mind is. Can she handle that kind of news? What kind of relationship she have with her dad? If she don't have the rug pull out all her life, you don't want to pull nothing out, but you need to protect her. If her dad can be predatory, if her dad can be harsh, and she needs to know, because if he's a narcissist, she probably got questions. Answer truthfully those questions, but use wisdom when you answer. Answer according to the wisdom they can handle. Kids are wondering what's going on. They're wondering what's happened. And kids in the 21st century are very, very smart, intelligent children. And we have to acknowledge that. You know, every one of you, boom, I'm giving you a high five because I really, really, really celebrate your charisma, celebrate your endurance, celebrate your patience, and your wisdom. She said, say that all things work together for the good. Yes, Sparkle, it does. And a lot of times the narcissists think we're working just for them. You may be working for me. It's a painful experience, but I may be a professor learning my skill through my experience. You know, y'all, I really enjoy coming on here. I got to get some sleep so I can get up in a few hours. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being with me. I love this. And I love talking to you. And I love when you come on. Afterwards, go to the bottom where the comments are. Give me subjects that you want me to talk about. And Demetria, I'm going to do another one on the ghosting narcissist again. She said, get some rest. I will. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Maria. Excuse me. All right, my YouTube fam. That's big hug, 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 hug. I love you, and I will be seeing you, Michelle. Thank you so much. I will see you again. Check out the rest of my videos. Be blessed by the rest of my videos. Remember, like and share the page. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Push the bell. Every time I come on, an alert will let you know I'm here. And we can meet once again in the room of victory on this channel. We appreciate you, Miss Saller. Thank you and have a good day. Hugs and kisses to you, Just Queenie. Love you, girl. All right. God bless you. Thank you so much. Let's meet again on tomorrow. Good night.